What's going on, guys? Adam again, back with Atomic Garage, and today it's very nasty outside. Honestly, it's like halfway raining and all that stuff. But today we're going to try and put on those roof racks. Coming up in this video. So guys, as the intro just stated, I'm going to be messing with the roof rack of this car and seeing if I can go ahead and install it. And I won't be installing it by means of some self-tapping screws through my hood or anything. I am going to use some Gorilla double-sided tape, that permanent tape. We're going to test to see how strong it is. And I'm going to see if that will work in securing the roof rack, it's honestly only for visual purposes. And like I said earlier, since today is not the prettiest day and I'm kind of not in the mood to make a video, but I'm in the mood to work, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to set you guys up on a time lapse, and then I'll stop periodically just to let you know if I'm doing something weird or different. So enjoy the video. All right, guys, so we have done all of the measuring to get things where we want it, and I think it looks pretty good. Now, I will tell you, it looks a little bit more funky because it's wider on this side, this gap here, as opposed to down here, but you can only notice that when you're looking at it. At least that's what I think. So let me give you a front view of everything. Front view, thinks it looks pretty good. So quite a bit of measuring went into this, but I think we finally got it to work. It does go bow in a little bit more and it tapers out back here, but I don't have a problem with that. Also, I have those 3 slats that's over there that's gonna go across as well. And down the road, I plan on doing wood planks to go across as well. And I think it'll give it a different dynamic. So let me show you the measurements. I got 1.25 inches from here, this point here, to the edge of the car. Same thing on the other side. I'm cutting 7 inches off up to up here. I am cutting it to right there, losing that much as well. So you're looking at this much to this much right here, which I think it works for the car. And once we cut it short and clean it up, I think it'll look even better. One thing I did off camera, you may or may not notice, is how this side hugs more to the roof of the car as that one doesn't. That's because I've already been bending this one to kind of shape it a little bit more. So I think I'm gonna get it a little bit more shaped down, and then I'll move on to that side to bend it down as well. And these back pieces are gonna have to be bent down a little bit as well. So we're gonna go ahead and tear it apart and get to work. So one thing I noticed was that I couldn't get it to lay flat. This side is not laying flat, so what I did was start cutting some reliefs in it here and in the back, and it sits a whole lot more flush with the body. So that way when I do put the double-sided tape on, it doesn't have to hold on for dear life. Like that side is a pretty good gap there. I don't know if you can see that, but this side looks really good. So we'll clean it all up. I'm gonna do the same thing to that side, sand it down and paint it. we've got everything laid out here for us to go ahead and start painting. And I'm be using some of this Rust-Oleum textured black, stops rust, fine textured finish with the comfort tip. It's already been in my house and it's black and it'll work. So hopefully it'll dry pretty good. Right now it's a bit cold outside, so I'm gonna let it sit for a while. Hopefully it can fully cure and everything, so then I can lay them down on the car and mount this bad boy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start painting. Now I'm gonna put you guys in the time lapse so you guys can watch paint dry. I'm joking, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep on painting off camera. I think it is warm enough where the paint will dry because it's already starting to dry and the finish looks great. But if I get a few little small runs in it, not really big concerned about it. It looks great so far. So I'm gonna keep hitting it with several coats because I believe strength is in coats. Coats of paint. Keep laying some more and I will show you guys when we're installing it. Well, all right guys, looks like everything is completely dry, which is surprising because one, I'm extremely ashy, but it's 50 degrees out here. So man, that speaks volumes to the paint that I'm using. And we went on ahead and painted these little knobs and buttons and stuff. And I think they look amazing as well. So now the next thing for us to do is to put the Gorilla Tape on the back of these and start lining everything up, and then we'll start installing. The front and the back off of this roof rack, there is a slot that these slide into. So what I had to do was trim the rubber back a little bit from the front, so that way this whole tongue piece can slide back in there. And you see it's a little bit of a gap, but once I put that new Gorilla Tape in, hopefully it should cover up all of that and everything else as well. So let's keep going. All right guys, so I have the tape, the ends of it peeled back. Now I'm about to go ahead and remeasure everything a second time to make sure that it is how it should be. Once I do that, I'm gonna peel the tape back, stick it down, and depend on what kind of reaction I get, if I need to put something on top of it. So let's keep going. Well, I think we got it on, guys. Now what I had to do was take off the little slats that ran right there because I need to bend that some more. It's got too much tension on it and it's trying to pop up each side, so I'm gonna work on that. But if you come down on it, it looks pretty good except for one spot that's right there. I'm gonna have to double side that a little bit better. I don't really care for that tape though, because even though it is a Gorilla Tape, it's the fact that it says it's supposed to be 60 inches in here and it's more like 48 because you lose a whole bunch. And let me show you what I'm talking about. This side where I couldn't put any, of course you can't see it now, but there's a little gap. There it is. There's a little gap that's right there that you can't really see, but it's definitely there, and that's really frustrating because I don't like that at all. Part of me wants to put some kind of, honestly, a self-tapping screw right down in there and then fill it in with some sealant. I really want to do that just to kind of fully hold it down and secure it. But I think it looks good for the most part, so. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I truly love the roof rack altogether, honestly, and I like them with the added slats on it. So I'm gonna try and see if I can put those back on it because I think it looked awesome. It actually reminded me of Homer Simpson with his little pieces of hair that ran across. But anyway, that's gonna be it for me today, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. If you did like the video, consider subscribing, drop a like, drop a comment if you have a suggestion on how I can mount these roof racks a little bit better. But I think overall, again, it turned out pretty good. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.